Moto, moto, waka, waka, moto, waka. Moto, moto, waka.
Howdy, it's Mkhukhu Chats post SONA. We thought we could have a conversation about the cost of looking for employment in South Africa.
Especially with the high rate of unemployment in our country, it's easy to assume or believe that certain people are not looking, they're not going out there to look for work, not considering the fact that that thing is expensive. I think it was you who told me that it amounts to around 500.
Yeah.
And imagine 500, you're not working, you're coming from a family that they can't even afford to buy you bread. Imagine the support that they would need to give you, financial support, I mean, for you to go out and find employment.
It's tough because this 500 rand is just like you putting out CVs, it's you going on to the internet campaign to actually search. Once somebody says, okay, cool, come through for a first interview, it's bears because then it moves to the thousands.
And we have that, I don't know if it's a culture word where you need to dress a certain way when you go for this interview.
Yeah.
You need to look a certain way, and you find that some people don't even have clothes, proper clothes to actually go out and look representable. I don't know what's representable actually. Yeah, that's another topic we should talk about. But anyway, we're here. So those are some of the things that we overlook when we think about someone finding employment. Yeah.
Right. So I think most importantly, we need to look at the institutions that are supposed to be helping out young people to find employment or at least encourage employability, and how even those institutions are outside of the townships. So you find that the scouting or the talking about, oh, you can go here and there, happens at community radio stations, there's in community newspapers. But when it actually comes down to where can I actually go, your institutions that are supposed to be assisting you are completely outside of the township, which means there's a cost attached to getting assistance even. Do you know what I mean? And then if you want short courses that are free, you need to scout the internet. You almost need to know where to find them. There's also another cost attached to them. And we can't not talk about the fact that our families are very difficult places to be when you're looking for employment.
Very difficult because there's levels. If you're working, you're treated a certain way. If you're not working, you're treated a certain way. I think those who are fortunate is if you have somebody who's supporting you, be it a friend, be it whoever who's supporting you to find employment, because it's very difficult. I think we also look at the financial cost, but there's another cost that is linked to it, which is emotional.
Yeah.
I think can be emotionally draining, where you feel you're useless, you feel like the world is not a good place for you to be in it.
Absolutely.
I saw a post the other day where somebody actually killed themselves because they were so emotionally drained of trying to find employment. And I think the pressure comes from the fact that the people who believe that you are not doing enough, we must get out of that thing, because people are out there looking for, taking free courses, people are signing up for NGOs that assist with, people are actually going out, but if employment is not coming your way, it is not coming your way.
I think you've brought up a very big issue, which is mental health, and that is a big cost. In fact, Statistics South Africa put out some statistics that I can't recall at the moment, of people who have given up looking for work because they're just like, I am pushing so hard and I'm getting so much flack from my family that what is the point of asking 50 rand, 100 nyana, and then I'm gonna come back home with nothing. There's also these places about 1 minute it's a school, next minute it's a salon, and then your family paid for that cost. Next thing, you can't even get that accreditation, and it just seems like way into yakho kugqiba imali apha endlini, ugqiba isonka, ugqiba amaqanda, ugqiba ubisi, ugqiba amatanon, usika ipoloni, yonke into nje zibeds for wena. Like it's horrible. Like
it is horrible.
We laugh about it a lot, but it's really hard to think of a person who is struggling to stay alive for themselves, let alone also nabantwana and stuff like that. But like the ability to be able to sustain yourself is, and how taxing it can be emotionally. And I think I say we quite loosely, have a responsibility to share resources.
Yeah.
Guys, can you again man bribes, like, wow guys, umntu uyawusefumana umsebenzi funeka banebhatala nawe. Can you men get bribes? It's really hard to find work. We've got a responsibility to share opportunities. We've got a responsibility to make sure that people who ask for bribes are being outed. It's nonsensical.
Yeah.
And even when people want to start up businesses, they need to go bribe these resource places to be able to get those resources. Ayenzi sense. And I feel like there's a disconnect between the government's capacity to help us, which I think there's more than enough money for everyone to get help, to help us, and the people who sit there where the help is. And there's no clear value system that applies there, where if I am desperately looking for work, why would you ask me for money to give me work?
Exactly. And I think for a person who's out there looking for work, be careful of the places you're going to for interviews. A person asking you a bribe. I know we get desperate, but sometimes a person takes that bribe and you still don't have a job. A person takes that bribe and you're still not registered in a database for starting your business. Whatever. I think as well, but I understand, because when you are looking for employment, it's easy to tap into that desperate mood, because you have to go to a place called home where you're constantly reminded of the fact that you're not working, and people can find themselves entangled in things that are not good. But also be careful. Make sure that when you're going for interviews, it's a place that is known. When bribe-wise, just be careful not to do it. Because, but another day.
Hey, we can talk about bribes, because also, guys, envelope.
Hey.
Some children, also ask judge.
But another thing is, for those who, I want to go back to what you just said. Who are fortunate enough to have access to this information of jobs, of business opportunity, guys, there's a share button. Share. Whether it's on social media or wherever, it's printing out. There's a guy, Kokasi, who's not working, who's been looking for work. I think there's a part we can play that can ease the burden, because the more you go for these interviews, the more you go for these things, there's an opportunity will arise one day. But if we are holding this information as well, Nazi sifuna ukubizwa abo sister lerato angike 5 rand. No, help each other, help. Do you see president to 10 years day nation address bekathini mngani umuzeli angazi ngiyabuza uthe
ayikho into ekugqibeleni el president noma yimpoza yami,
but he's probably shocked.
No, but he wasn't shocked, because apparently there's not enough electricity. So, on that note, subscribe to Mkhukhu Chats on YouTube, and also we will make sure that we share links to resources like Harambe that you can use to upskill yourself and also get additional work.
Yeah,
It's been real.
It's been real.
Until next time.